Hey there, fifth grade. I'm Mrs. Laydick here to teach you lesson two, fifth grade lesson two for our literacy. Now, this lesson, we do jump into our Ready Gen text, and it's our first text, but it's actually in Unit 2, Module B. So just be careful of that, okay? So even though it's August and we just started school, we're actually going to jump into Unit 2, Module B. It's a great spot for us for dual language to start, okay? So Unit 2B is where we're at. Today we're going to be studying and starting the text called Angel Island. We will be reading pages 99 through 102. Before we jump in and I go too far with these slides, I do want to show you that Angel Island is a true place. And this whole module will be a variety of informative texts, so all nonfiction. And so I do have open my Google Maps. I wanted to show you where Angel Island is. It's here in the United States, and this is too zoomed in. You can't really totally see, but maybe you see Golden Gates. Maybe you see the city San Francisco, so you're thinking California. So yes, it is in California, and the pointer is right here in the middle of the blue, so that means it's in some water, huh? So Angel Island is an island in the middle of the San Francisco Bay, and I'm going to keep on zooming out. And now it's just more of a park, or you could visit. So almost feels like a landmark you can visit if you'd like. But back in the early 1900s, it was used as a immigration station. And so immigrants that would be coming to the United States would have to go there first and go through the process of becoming entered into our country. So if I keep zooming out, and I am zooming out on purpose, so you can see, remind yourself where California is from where we live. See if I can move it over. Give me just a second here. So here, the view, you can see California, and that's where Angel Island is. And we're over here in Illinois, right, in Woodstock. So that's where Angel Island is in California. And this blue is also the Pacific Ocean, of course. And I'm going to zoom out purposely more so you can see the continent. If I were to keep on going west, we would see Asia, right? So we see Japan, and I want to show you that here is China. So we're going to learn about how many Asians, we're really going to be studying Chinese immigration, especially, traveled over here to the United States and would enter the United States here at San Francisco Bay and would have to go through the immigration station of Angel Island to work for their citizenship to be in our country. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that on a map, and we'll return to our slides. Okay, so today we'll be studying pages 99 through 102 in Angel Island, Unit 2, Module B. And let's study some vocabulary before we jump in, and we'll also study main idea in detail, and then I'll read those pages to you. I won't always read them in these recordings, but this is the very beginning of a new text, so I want to help you jump in, okay? So one word we need to make sure we know is the word guardian. Guardian. And a guardian is someone that protects, maybe a keeper. I'll see if I can make this even bigger, right? A guardian could be an adult in your life that takes care of you, maybe after school. If you have maybe a babysitter that's older than you in their 20s, they can be maybe looked at as a guardian, but definitely someone in your family, someone that you trust. A guardian takes care of you, okay? And then there's some beautiful pictures here of caring. And we have a quote from page 100 of our text. Because the islands seem to protect the bay like a guardian angel, Ayala named it Isla de Los Angeles, Spanish for Island of the Angels. So this is going to help us understand where that name Angel Island came from, the guardian. It looked like the island was protecting the water, the bay around it. Okay, so guardian, a defender, a protector. A phrase we want to make sure you know is coming into, okay, and that is used in our text as well. So coming into, here is a quote from our text. In 1910, the United States built an immigration station that served as the main point of entry for thousands of immigrants coming into the United States through the West Coast. So I showed you the picture of the West Coast, California. Immigrants were coming into our country. So they're hoping to gain access. They were coming towards into our country. So it's to move towards or into, coming into. Another two-word phrase we're going to be reading is set up. The immigration station was set up to receive people from Asia and Europe. That's on page 102. So set up, put together, built, arranged. So the immigration station was built to support and bring in people from Asia and Europe. Okay, and then of course, let's make sure we study the word immigration. In 1910, the United States built an immigration station that served as the main point of entry, we read this, for thousands of immigrants coming into the United States through the West Coast. So immigration means coming from a foreign country and wanting to gain access to a new country and actually live there. Okay, so immigration, coming into, migrating into a new country with hopes and intentions to live there. And if we work through the word immigration, there's definitely a prefix im, which we have bolded for you. im, which means it's Latin. It means it came from Latin, and it means into. And then we have the root word here, migrate. Migrate means to move from one place to another. And then once we add that suffix shun, that turns migrate, which was a verb of moving, into now a noun. So immigration, moving into a new country, moving into a new country, the act of moving into a new country. Okay, so we're going to be reading pages 99 through 102 in Angel Island. So I'll put that up. And we're also going to be thinking about these questions. How did Angel Island get its name? We kind of touch on that a little bit with our vocabulary. So how did Angel Island get its name? And then we're also going to be studying main idea and key details of the section we'll read today. Okay, so I want you to be looking for what is the main idea of the section we'll read today and what are key details that support it. Now remember, the main idea is the main point the author wants you to know. Okay, the most important. And then the key details are going to be smaller details, but that are directly related to your main idea. All right, so let's think about what today's main idea is of our section. Let's find some key details together. And then let's also think about, how did Angel Island get its name? All right. Pull over to our text. Okay, guys, here we go. So let's read our beginning of Angel Island. Okay, now as a reminder, I am in ReadyGen, but remember that we're in Unit 2, Module B. Unit 2, Module B to find Angel Island. Also, what could be a little bit tricky is it's also part of our text collection. So you're going to have to go into text collections. You'll see a couple other books, but that's not the first one we're going to read. First, we have to go into our text collection, Unit 2, Module B, and find Angel Island. Okay, and what you'll see right away in the front is a beautiful photograph. And I remember when I did this with my students too, I asked them what they saw, and so they were very respectfully saying, oh, I believe possibly Chinese or Japanese. You could see from their features on their face that these may be people from the Asian region. And we do see smiles, so that's good. So this is Angel Island. And we are going to be reading just the first few pages, first section. Remember, our job is to remember and learn, how did Angel Island get its name? We also want to look for the main idea of this section. Now, look, this is nonfiction. We are seeing right away, we see a heading up here in caps and bolded, larger than the text of the book, okay? So we see a heading, the history of Angel Island. So often when we see a heading, we can say, what is? What is the history of Angel Island? Well, that's what's going to be told to us in this section, right? We're going to learn that. I also see a map, and it even has an inset map within, okay, which I kind of was showing you a little bit in Google Maps. So we see a red arrow going from Asia to North America. And then here, this map here is showing us San Francisco Bay, isn't it? And we see Angel Island right here, the black maybe rectangle or square immigration station. And then the caption, Angel Island is one of the several islands in San Francisco Bay. So there's more than one, several islands, one of the islands. Over here on this page, I have a 2-page spread open. We see a photograph, so another text feature that helps us understand what we're reading about. And I see several buildings here. And it says, for this caption, Angel Island Immigration Station was a complex of many buildings. Okay, so not just one building. All right, so let's read these pages. Now remember, we're thinking, what is the main idea? And what are the key details? Now we can take that heading, that's going to help us. The history of Angel Island. What is the history of Angel Island? Angel Island is one of the largest islands in California's San Francisco Bay. In 1775, the Spanish explorer Don Juan Manuel Ayala sailed into the bay, stopping at what is now Ayala Cove. His men explored the bay and made a map of the region. Because the island seemed to protect the bay like a guardian angel, Ayala named it Isla de los Angeles, Spanish for Island of the Angels. Ooh, so remember our question? How did it get its name? From an early explorer named Don Juan Manuel Ayala. And he was thinking, looks like this island's protecting the water around it, the bay. So let's call it the Island of the Angels. So like a guardian angel. In 1910, the United States built an immigration station at the northeast corner of the island in the area known as China Cove. For the next 30 years, it served as the main point of entry for thousands of immigrants coming into the United States through the West Coast. It was known as the Guardian of the Western Gate. So the western part of our country, United States, western part, California, this was the Guardian. And this is 1910, so make sure you're thinking a little over 100 years ago. So 110 years ago, this happened, okay? So get back a century ago, 110 years ago. Okay, and I believe we have a couple more pages to read. Hold on. Okay, now here's the final page we're going to read, page 102. And right away we see another important text feature to pay attention to, a photograph. And we see water and we see a boat, and it appears that these people just exited the boat and are walking towards the photographer. Okay, maybe they were just traveling. This actually says, make sure you always read the captions. It'll tell us and help us learn even more. Few European immigrants entered the United States through Angel Island. So what that's saying is the word few means little. So not many European immigrants entered the United States through Angel Island. It was more the Asian immigrants. Okay, very important to read that. And then our final paragraph to read together is the immigration station was set up to receive people from Asia and Europe. However, only a few Europeans. Now, however tells me it's going to go in a different direction, doesn't it? So I'm going to reread. The immigration station was set up to receive people from Asia and Europe. However, Only a few Europeans were ever detained at Angel Island during these years. Japanese immigrants, too, were generally allowed to enter San Francisco soon after their ship docked and their paperwork was sent to the immigration station. For the most part, immigration officials detained only the Chinese whom they wanted to keep out of the United States. So are you wondering, like me, why do they want to keep out the Chinese? So why were only the Chinese picked on? They were detained. Now, remember, one of our jobs is to think about the main idea and the key details of this section. So the section heading was the history of Angel Island, and we read through the section. It was 3 pages long. We studied the features, the text features that we really want to learn more about and study. So we studied the map and the photographs. So the history of Angel Island, we got a little bit of history, and we also learned who was coming through. So if you're like me, you're thinking the main idea is, well, we can say maybe just many immigrants entered the US through Angel Island, through this immigration station. So just on a doc, I'm just going to type that with your thinking hopefully going on as well. Okay, so the main idea of this section, I'm going to get a little bigger. The main idea of this section in Angel Island is many immigrants entered the United States, the US, through Angel Island. It's lagging, isn't it? I typed all that and it's still thinking about it. There we go. Okay. So the main idea of this section is Angel Island is, let's see, is that makes better sense, is that many immigrants entered the United States through Angel Island. The main idea of this section in the book, Angel Island, and let's see if it's, yep, is that many immigrants entered the United States through Angel Island. And now we can think of a few key details. I know this because of the key details. What would be a detail you're thinking about? Let's see. I think I have the book over here too. Were you thinking, well, we learned in this section that when it was built, we could put that, it was built in 1910 for an immigration station. We learned that on page 101. So a key detail could be, I know this because of the key details of it being, I may have spelled that wrong, I have to work on that, of being, built in 1910 with the purpose of being an immigration station. And the other detail we can use, maybe we could say, well, we saw the photograph. So we also saw the photograph of the immigrants coming from either Europe or Asia, and the detail of many Europeans. Now remember, we said few because it was way more Asian, but many European immigrants and Asian immigrants. Let's see how this is sounding so far. I know this because of the key details of it being built in 1910 with the purpose of being an immigration station, and the detail of many European immigrants and Asian immigrants entering the United States. At Angel Island. Okay, let's do that. So we pulled out 2 details. So maybe if I'll separate it, if it helps you. Main idea. Well, this whole section is about telling us what Angel Island is. It's a place where many immigrants enter the United States. And a couple details that were really important that the author wanted us to know was that it was built in 1910 and that many European and Asian immigrants enter the United States this way. Okay, today's lesson, we were able to dive into our first text for 5th grade in Ready Gen. It is a nonfiction text called Angel Island. We learned that Angel Island is a real place here in the United States, and it was used for immigration early in the 1900s, so early in the 20th century, over 100 years ago now. We learned and maybe refreshed our memory on some vocabulary words. Guardian, a keeper, person that protects. Come into means move towards or into. Many immigrants came into the United States this way through this passage, Angel Island. We also learned about the term and the vocabulary set up. The immigration station was set up right there on that island in the San Francisco Bay to receive people from Asia and Europe. And we learned that mostly Asians were coming through, but the Chinese were the ones that were detained even longer. So that's going to be something we have to read about. And we learned about the word immigration and how im means going in, and it comes from Latin, and migrate means to move from one place to the next. And when we add that suffix shun, it actually changes the word migrate, which was a verb, into now a noun. So immigration is the state of moving into a new country, a foreign country. All right, we read our pages 99 through 102, and we talked about main idea in detail. Main idea, the main purpose of why the author wrote this section, and details will support that main purpose, okay, that we find in. We started a paragraph. You may watch out and look for if your teacher has an assignment for you in Canvas to write a paragraph about, to summarize what happened in this section. And by all means, you can use the ideas we started here on this document. All right, thanks for learning with me today, fifth grade.